Good evening, friends, and welcome again to this exciting episode of IT Talks. Today, we have with us our youngest guest. So, I'd like to welcome Yatharth Upmanue.
Hi, thank you. Thank you so much,
Hi,
Puneet.
Yatharth. So, just to give you a little bit about Yatharth. So, he's pursuing his bachelor's in computer science from University of Applied Sciences in Ulm. He's a passionate football player and a dear friend. So without going into much further ado, I like Yatharth, if you can introduce yourself to our guests.
Yeah, thank you so much, Puneet. Thank you. Hi, everyone. My name is Yatharth, and I am born and brought up in Delhi, and I am currently pursuing my bachelor's in Germany in a place called Ulm from the University of Applied Sciences, Ulm, as you rightly mentioned. Uh, yeah, and I am a passionate football player. I love playing football, and that's my introduction.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Yatharth. And Yatharth does seem like a nerdy kid. And mind you, when he's on the field, he's completely electric. I've seen it myself. And, it's just a treat to watch him play. Great, and we'll talk more about football for sure, and but briefly, can since focusing on today's episode, so we are talking about the tech education abroad, its respective challenges and opportunities. So let us start, so maybe you can briefly tell us about your journey. How did you land up, pursuing bachelor's in Germany?
So, my journey has been definitely tough, difficult, and challenging. Uh, it's been a ride. It's been a good, exciting couple of years to the point I've reached, to pursue my bachelor's. Starting from, I remember when I was in IB, I did international baccalaureate, which allowed me to actually skip the 13th year, which is necessary usually to get into the bachelor's degree there. And that was, I think, added as a benefit for me. So that's after doing IB, I plan to go to Germany because somehow I've always been closer to the German language, the German culture, German people. I mean, my mom works in Deutsche Bank for the past 17 years now, almost, and my dad knows German. So
Wow.
surprising, like my mom doesn't, although she works in a German bank, but my dad does because he was in the tourism industry and he had a lot of interactions with German people. So so that's how I don't know. I just had a kind of an attraction towards Germany, so I chose Germany. And the second reason I would say would be because I wanted to pursue football, and that's the
Okay.
reason I went to Germany. And also, the cybersecurity sector is really vast there. So yeah.
Nice. Great. Thank you so much for letting us, about your dreams, etc. So, so how did you, so what were the initial challenges, that you faced, I think other than learning German, I think, that I think you're already proficient enough. So what were the challenges initially that you faced?
I mean, I wouldn't say learning German was technically a challenge for me because I have always been good with languages. And I learned German when I was in Germany. So, when you use the language every day, it becomes pretty easy to just adapt and
Mm,
talk in German, talk to people every day around in your surroundings. So it becomes really easy. It becomes like a second nature of yours. So it was pretty good. And I had a lot of fun. Apart from German, I mean, I was always an average student. So sometime during my applications and everything, my grades did become a challenge. But it was always that, I did well enough to get into that. So yeah, I mean, I was not an A+ student to be honest with you, but I was an average, good enough student, so
no.
that I landed a position.
Great. Thank you for being so honest, there. Definitely. And, so you did mention about, your interest in the cyber defense sector. And I see that you're currently doing an internship with Orange Cyber Defense as of now. So can you let us know how did you land that, such a good internship? I'll be more interested, in actually how did you got that role?
Yeah, so basically, it's a funny story actually. I started applying very late for the internship.
Mm-hmm.
I had to apply 6 months before, but then everything happened in such a rush that I had to apply just 4 months before. And thankfully, I just um, was after their life too. I called them up. Sent in my resume. The first step I did was send in my resume. Then I called up the HR director directly. I spoke to her on the phone that, hey, I've sent in my resume. Could you please take a look at it and let me know that
Mm.
if I have to add something, or what else do you need? So I was in regular contact with her, and it was great. She was really humble. She was really nice. She was really a nice person. So yeah, just being after their lives, that not to give me the internship, but just um, always being interactive with people, always being taking feedback from them. What could I do better? What could I do more? What things are required? When you're interested in such things, then people know that this person is actually interested in doing something and not just doing for the fun of it. So I think, yeah, and obviously I had certain knowledge and skill set, which really helped me to finally get the internship.
Wow, interesting.
If I may also add, the internship technically had 2 rounds of interviews. So the first round was a telephonic round, and the second round was a video round. So that was a little tougher round because they went into the details and nitty-gritties of cybersecurity and what it is, and not and very very minute details of how certain cyber attacks happen and how can you avoid them and stuff like that. I won't bore you with the details. Just yeah.
Cool. I'd love to have a separate session on DDoS for sure. So yeah.
Sure.
Great, great. And you're an avid football player and you are also playing for a local club. So how do you
Yeah.
manage your classes, internship, while cooking food, etc.? How do you manage everything on your own?
Well, to be honest with you, to be 100% honest with you, it becomes a challenge. It definitely is a challenge because I have a ton of things. I have football, as you said, internship, college, studies, my friends, like social life.
Mm.
It becomes a challenge. But I think the only thing that has been helpful for me, and which I'm still trying to do more and more, is setting up a schedule, making a routine, and being disciplined. Although there are certain days where I'm not disciplined at all and my just schedule goes haywire, but having a schedule in your life really helped me. So like, yeah, that was something which I learned, um, and yes, that's what has helped me, keep everything at specific times. So yeah.
Interesting, interesting. And how do you find education here? Right? I'm sure, you must be having friends who are maybe pursuing their bachelor's in India, right? And you're pursuing, so any key differences that you have seen, that being you are studying in Germany versus studying in India?
Yes, definitely. I have seen a couple of key differences. First of all, like one of the key differences would be that some Indian colleges have still the concept of rote learning and
Mm-hmm.
not, like understanding the concept and then applying it in real life. Since I am studying in the university, which is actually in German known as Technische Hochschule Ulm. So Hochschule technically means University of Applied Sciences,
Got it.
and Technische is technical, so Technical University of Applied Sciences, which means that I learn by doing. I have projects which I had to do on my own. For example, there was a class in mobile. The lecture was basically mobile app development,
Right.
and in this mobile app development, I was supposed to develop an app. Um, so yeah, we created a quiz. So I was not the only one, but we worked in teams. And the whole seminar and the whole lectures were just based around you creating your own app, which
Mm.
was like which was really helpful because we did our everything on our own and we learned it by doing on our own. Obviously there was a professor who helped us with stuff, but
Right.
still doing it on your own makes a lot of difference than just sitting in front of the screen and just watching what the other person is doing. So that actually, is something which has helped me.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think,
Some
getting that first-hand experience, it
exactly.
matters a lot. Any other key differences that you feel?
Uh, I yeah, the pressure is the same. I couldn't talk about the pressure. The pressure of studying either in an Indian university or abroad is pretty much the same. Although, studying in an Indian university, I mean, I don't know the curriculum as such because I haven't studied here myself. The curriculum is pretty much the same. The thing that we study is the same. Only the pedagogy is different. And to be honest, I do like the pedagogy with which I am studying. So I would say I like my college.
Lovely, nice. Fun question. Can't hold myself to ask from that one. So maybe that will be for your parents, right? How much
Could
does
be.
it cost, right?
The costs. Actually, to be honest, not that much.
That's
Because
what I've heard. That's why I asked this question.
yeah, because the thing is that colleges and university, especially government colleges, are the tuition fees is nothing, is either nothing or bare minimum, and that's the government institutionalized government colleges. However, private colleges obviously do cost money and they are a lot expensive. So, I mean, I don't really know whether it's worth to go to a private university. And in Germany, actually, the grades, the ranking of the university doesn't make a difference.
Oh, is it?
At least for me, it doesn't, because as soon obviously there is a legacy that comes with the rank. For example, you go to Oxford, Harvard,
Ivy Leagues.
such Ivy Leagues, exactly. You are something. After that, you have a great legacy going on. But
Right.
in Germany, when you study, or in Europe, I would say when you study, I don't think really. Well, I can talk more about Germany right now. So I think there isn't really much of a difference whether the university is in the top 100 or the top 200 or things like that, because I feel that a rank for the university doesn't really make a difference on the concepts that you study, the things that you study, and the way that you study it. Because at the end of the day, you're just going to do a job, and it really doesn't make a difference for me whether I'm studying from, like, for example, let's say a university in Karlsruhe or a university in Munich. Obviously, there are universities which are known for their kind of the style of teaching or their subjects. Like, for example, TUM is Technical University of Munich, and Technical University of Munich is known for a lot of mechanical stuff, or KIT, or other universities like that. But I've never really faced such a difference. I've never really seen such a difference. So coming back to your question about the costs, it mainly, in southern Germany, you have certain costs of the university as an international student, but that also just started an year before I came to Germany. So that was a little unfortunate on my part.
Okay.
But in general, the tuition fees is nothing. You just have to pay the living expenses, the rent, the food, your health,
Insurance.
health insurance. Yeah, exactly. I confuse myself with German now because I speak a lot of German. So I always start thinking in German. So thanks. Yeah, health insurance.
Sure.
Main cost code was those.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing, So in fact, so that's a very key thing you brought about, So in fact, in the current Indian market also, we can see a dilution of brands, right? Earlier you used to say, I'm an IT and I'm graduate or a postgraduate, right? But right now it is even our society in India itself is also kind of moving towards the skill-based market, right? Even tech companies like the FANG companies like Google, Microsoft, so they are also more inclined. Okay, you're ready. You can crack their hackathons. You're welcome to join. And it doesn't matter you are from an Ivy League college or not.
Exactly. At the end of the day, it makes a difference of how much you know, whether you study from an Ivy League or whether you study from any other university.
Great. So thank you so much. I think you've already shared quite a lot, but I'll still go ahead and ask this question to you. So
Sure.
any advice, you want to give to our viewers, to and to all the aspiring students out there, who are looking to seek,
Mhm.
bachelors in,
Yeah.
technology abroad.
Well, the advice that I can share is, well, from my experience at least, I can share is be disciplined. Like having a discipline in your life is something which is good. Having a routine, having a schedule, it's something that is necessary. At least for me, I can't say for
Mhm.
others. Maybe some people, work differently. So for me, it definitely makes a difference when I have a schedule versus when I don't have a schedule.
Mm.
Apart from that, there is, do regular study. If I don't do regular study, I will face a lot of challenges. But if I am doing regular study, attending all the classes, yeah, it's just a breeze. It goes by. It's pretty nice. Apart from that, I will say timely submissions. That's something which goes for every student, that you have to submit things timely. uh, but it's just, a lot of less stress towards the end of the studies. um, and yeah, just do timely submissions. And yeah, one thing I will also add to this would be general awareness.
Okay.
And this, I mean, things like, which colleges you're going to apply to, which, so
Mm.
there are certain websites. Always be aware of the colleges and what they're doing in, at this time, and when are their admissions going on and stuff like that. Even if you are in a college, if even if you are already admitted in a university,
Mhm.
just to help others, because I know a lot of people who have taken help from me,
Mm.
saying that, I'm going to be coming next year. What advice can you give me? What are the right colleges for me, or what are the right, where can I find the list of colleges? Because in Germany, there is such thing that not many people know about how to find the right kind of colleges. So,
Okay.
just guide them, have a way through that. And one other thing would be just having general awareness of what's going on in today's world, because
Mm.
you never know when you can strike up a conversation with a professor or someone else, or just a teacher. Well, a teacher is known as Dozent in German, because a professor and docent is different. So
Mm.
a docent or a professor, because uh, also in my interview, I was asked this question, what is happening in today's cybersecurity
Mm.
field? What are
Absolutely.
what are you aware of? So things like that, you need to be on your tips. That thing needs to be on your tips.
Thank you. Thank you
So
so much, Yatharth, for sharing such valuable insights. And I'm sure, so if any of our viewers who might be interested in, so they are going to sure bug you. And I'll also
sure,
request you to, I think you rightly pointed out that if you can share those websites that you were talking about,
sure.
I'll make sure I'll share them as part of the video. So
Yeah,
to our
definitely.
Mhm.
Definitely. And one last thing I totally forgot would be time
Please.
management. That's the key.
That's the
That's
key.
that's that's something that everyone needs to learn, be it an adult, be it a student, like be it like someone who's just gotten out of school yet.
Mm.
That's really necessary.
Great, Yatharth. So thank you so much for, giving us all these valuable tips as well as sharing your experience. I think it is going to benefit a lot of people, a lot of folks out there, and all the best for your career.
Hi everyone, thank you for watching our video. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more such insightful sessions. We will be regularly uploading on our channel every Sunday, so stay tuned and like our other social media handles as well. The links of the same will be mentioned in the description box below. Bye bye.